Hi everyone, and welcome to Serena and Flux episode 107. Getting pretty high now. Pretty high. Not that kind of high, just high in numbers. Okay, so, been gone for a while, but had some stuff going on. Well, I still need to get a new hard drive in my computer. It's getting a little bit full. I only got about 12 gigs left on it. That's how much RAM I have. So to have almost more RAM than you have hard drive space is a little bit weird. So yeah, I'm thinking about taking it in and getting a new hard drive put in it. Probably 2 terabytes. That should last me a while anyway. I want to get an SSD one, but they're so pricey right now. So I think I'm going to stick with the regular kind. What else was going on? Oh, I applied for a night manager job at my workplace. Basically, it's only between me and one other girl, so I'm thinking the other girl's going to get it because she's already a day manager, so going to nights isn't going to be much change. It's just, you know, different hours, and they're actually going to have to work because the day managers really don't do anything but walk around and talk. But, you know, just going into the management position of nights isn't much of a change. She pretty much already knows everything that she needs to know to do the job. I would need to get checker trained. I would need to get numbers for the scanning guns. I would need to, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I would need to learn before I could actually take the management job, but I thought I'd give it a shot anyway because the last time they put the job up for grabs, like, no one applied at all. So I'm like, hey, there's no competition. I should just move right in, right? But no, there's competition this time. So have to see how that goes. And I found out quite recently that when I actually record videos, it does not save them in the same format that I'm used to. So I had to get a video converter so that after I make videos, I can put them in a format that my video editor can actually work with. So that took some time to figure that out after kind of going a roundabout way of getting them into the right format. I just finally just found a freeware version and downloaded it, so that's okay. But anyway, what I really want to talk about today was something important that I should have covered a long, long time ago, but never did, and that is coming out. Now, I know usually coming out means like coming out as, you know, homosexual or coming out as you know, maybe an atheist or something, but, you know, whatever. But coming out as, you know, transgendered is a trying time. Most people can't even do it until they move out of the house because they are completely terrified of, you know, their parents disowning them and throwing them out of the house and stuff like that. And yeah, I know some parents are maybe abusive, so you might get beat up. Or I heard one story about something, his dad, like, came into his room, threw the door open, and with such force that since his toenail was in the way, it tore the toenail right off the foot. And, you know, some parents are like that. I understand that, and I understand that it's, you know, for people that have parents like that, it's probably not a wise decision to tell them until you have your own place and are moved out. But most parents are pretty cool about it. My parents, they're pretty cool, but it still took a lot of time to get them to accept me for who I am and stuff. I mean, there was so many days where I just wanted to break down and cry because they did not get it. They did not get it. And I wanted to tell them, but I didn't want to tell them because, you know, I had all these problems going on in my life, you know, with my sister and her, you know, subhuman piece of trash husband. You know, that was going on, and then there was other things going on with my life, like, you know, when I finally decided to quit playing football, and that was all heaped on there, and then the, like, year and a half where I couldn't find a job, and I mean, there was a lot of turmoil going on, and I really didn't want to rock the boat, and I didn't really know if my parents would accept it or not. I didn't want to lose them because, hell, at one time, I had absolutely no friends. It was shortly after high school, and, like, every friend that I ever had just abandoned me. And, you know, who the hell else do you go to? There's nobody else. So that was a trying time as well. I didn't really want to make anybody upset because I didn't want to lose the only support system that I had. But it actually took coming back from Australia the first time. I came back and they started using my old name and started using the wrong pronoun, the male pronouns, and I just finally couldn't take it anymore. I just blew up and I said, look, I'm tired of this. Stop treating me like a guy. I am not a guy. Just stop it. That's why I wanted to stay in Australia, because I knew that when I came back here, you guys would start doing this again. And yeah, I just went on this total tirade, and finally they started accepting me and treating me the way I wanted to be treated. But before I did that, I knew that it was going to be a trying time. I knew it was going to be a lot of explaining to do, and I knew that it was going to take a long time to explain it. And I even tried explaining it to a friend of mine back when I was like 17 years old, and it took like 4 hours. And there had been a couple of years since then, and it's like probably going to take 5 hours now. I really don't want to do that. So what I did was I made a plan to be out of the house for like a couple days in case things needed to cool down, simmer down, blow over, whatever you want to call it. And while I was away, I called them on a payphone too, so this gives you an idea how long ago this was. I called them on a payphone and I told them to read the journals that I left on my desk. See, I had this plan all along when I was a kid that I would write down things when I'm feeling stuff and what's in my head, and maybe years down the road when people need explaining, I can let them read that, and then it just pretty much tells things as they are when they happened. And I don't have to try to go back through everything and remember everything and say everything. It'd be better to do it that way. So I started keeping journals. I have this one, first of all, that I got. If it was brown, it would remind me of Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, because it looks like the Grail journal. And I suddenly have a cat on my lap. Smokey, you need to get down. So there's this one, which has been through hell. The block is broken, and I had to duct tape the spine because it was falling apart. And yeah, so the entries in here are from 89. 89 and 90. There's a few 91s in here, but the earliest is 89. I mean, there's all that. It's really basic. I mean, they're broken into 4 quadrants, 4 days, and so I just wrote like what was really important, and then I used my child artistic ability to draw in little pictures of like what happened during that day, and it's in cursive, which I can't hardly even read anymore. So, but that's what you had to use in school back then, was cursive. So yeah, there's this one, which doesn't really tell anything about being, you know, transgendered, except there are a few entries from November of 1990, but that's about it. So that's that one. And then the real ones that I started after that diary was completely filled was these. This one, I put them in notebooks, but this one, the notebook kind of fell apart, so I put it in here. This was one of my sister's old notebooks, so it has like people that loves who on it, whatever. But this one is from November 21st, 1992 until June 2nd of 1996. So it encompasses quite a few years. Because I only wrote when, you know, there was something going on, something serious that needed to be said. And then I got number 2, the journal is still in one piece. This is from obviously June 2nd, 1996 until 1998, August 16th, 1998. So that was quite a few years. And then there's even a third one. And this goes up to December 29th of 1999. There's a fourth one, goes until what is that? October 2nd, 2001. So this is getting pretty close to modern day. This is the 5th one. This goes up to looks like July 24th of 2005, and then this one, it starts October 26th, 2005, and I just kind of quit writing in it because everything that needed to be said was already said. So I just kept compiling them, and I don't write in them now because I'm already full-time, and everyone that needs to know about it already knows about it. And so I don't really need to tell anything more because it's already been said. So, I mean, I probably should keep writing in it just to keep things current and updated, but I always think, like, what's the point? No one's going to read it. And even when I told them to read it while I was out of the house, they didn't. They only got to, like, I think journal number 2, and then they quit. Because it was too hard for them to read that stuff. It's like, well, why do you think I wrote it down? Think it wasn't hard for me to go through it? All you have to do is read it. So, anyway, that's all to be said with that. That, as they say, is that. So, that's pretty much what I have to say about that. This one's actually still going. Last one is April 11th of 2014, so that's pretty current. I was just talking about how I was getting laser hair removal, and you know, because things have happened that I think are warranted writing about, but nothing really that serious, because you know, whatever. But yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I mean, if you need to come out, I mean, that's one way of doing it, because sometimes things are better said through writing than they are with your mouth. Because the first way that I told them was I just came down and I just sat down with my mom. She was doing some laundry, and I just told her. And she didn't believe me at all. And finally just left the room, and I'm like, well, whatever. So I just kind of went to my room, put on some music, and left it at that. So, but it wasn't, they didn't think I was serious. And they didn't think I was serious because when I tried to go to California to stay with someone that was going to promise to help me start my transition, I didn't go. Why didn't I go? Not because I'm not serious about transition, because I just felt like I was betraying everybody. I mean, no one knew why I was going out there. Nobody, I didn't tell anybody. And for them to see me off one way and then have me come back as another, it just wasn't a good idea. And I finally realized that when I got out to Prim, Nevada. I'm like, no, I can't do it this way. It's not going to work this way. So I went back. It was a nice experience, though. I got to see some pretty cool countryside. I didn't get to see, like, Devil's Tower or anything, which I kind of wanted to, but whatever. Anyway, I'm kind of dressed up a little bit warm today. It's kind of chilly. It's only 57 degrees outside right now. Little cold snap coming through, so I'm kind of wearing this. It's nice and cozy with my Sailor Moon shirt underneath, which I can finally wear again because I finally lost enough weight that I don't look like an idiot in it, so that's nice. So anyway, yeah. So I have some other stuff to do today. I gotta do some measurements of some stuff outside, but other than that, I will leave you with that food for thought. If you want to come out to your parents, you don't know how to do it, try writing it down in a journal or something. I mean, I know not everyone can do something as substantial as, you know, how many years that I have done it, but it's probably something that might work for like a couple months, maybe. Just if something happens, it's something you think of something that might be substantial, write it down and have your parents read it. Maybe not be there. I didn't plan on not being there when I did it, but I thought this is a perfect opportunity. If they blow up or have some kind of panic attack or something, I won't be there to see it. Of course, when I came home, they threw me in therapy right away, so, you know, what can you do? But, hey, at least it was a start. At least it was a start. Nothing really happened then, and it was kind of taboo to talk about it. Nobody really talked. I mean, it was there, but it was underneath the surface. No one really talked about it because you didn't want to dredge that stuff up. And then someone said, well, the fact that you're not talking about it, maybe your parents think that it was just a phase and it's over now. I'm like, that's a very, very interesting thought. That could be the reason. Maybe they do think that it was a phase. Maybe they do think that, and that's actually in the journals when that happened, that maybe they do think I don't care anymore. But you would think that if I didn't care and it was a phase and I was over it, that I would cut my hair. But I didn't. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so that's something you could think about. Other people just come right out and say it. I guess they're braver than I am because I didn't want to be there. I was actually hanging out with a friend who was looking at my computer back then at the time. And then the next day I went and got my hair done, which took a long time. It took like all day because I was turning it red for some stupid reason. So first they had to like bleach out the black dye that I had in, and then they had to try and put the red in, and yeah, they had to like bleach it like twice to get all the black out. Then they had to put the red in, and it was just, and it didn't even look right afterwards. It looked more like kind of an orangey blonde or something. It didn't really look like, it didn't look like I wanted it to look, but whatever. So anyway, before this gets a little bit too long, I will leave you with that note that journals can help come out if you need help, because it's easier to say stuff when you write it down. You don't forget stuff as easily, and sometimes if you do it like I did it, there are things in there that I don't even remember. So it's a good plan if you need it. So anyway, I will leave you with that, and I will see everybody later. Bye-bye.